Welcome. You've arrived at another episode of Insurance ASMR Bedtime Stories by COR Insurance Services, where we believe peace of mind is created by more than one thing. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. We're so glad you're here. Please like and subscribe to be notified whenever a new gentle chapter is added. You walk in, there's a desk, a form to fill out, a person behind a counter asking how can they help. They both talk about money, they both hold accounts, they both ask for trust. But banks and insurance are not the same. Not in purpose, not in power, and not in the promises they make. A bank is a place where money rests. It waits for you there, and when you come back, it's still yours. You can touch it, withdraw it, move it. You can grow it a little, or lose it sometimes. Banks are built on what you have. Your income, your deposits, your credit, your records. They hold your now and sometimes your later. But they don't prepare for your what if. That's not their promise. Insurance is different. You can't touch it. You can't withdraw it. It isn't yours until something happens. It's a promise made quietly in case life gets loud. It doesn't hold your money, it holds your risk and keeps it from holding you. Insurance isn't built on what you have, it's built on what might happen. A car accident, a hospital stay, a broken bone, a lost income. Things you can't plan the timing for, but you can plan the protection. Where banks hold your present, insurance guards your unexpected future. Before banks became friendly and insurance became formal, there were loan sharks. People didn't go to them because they wanted to. They went because they had to. Rent was due, a child was sick, a job was lost, and when the system said no, the shark said yes, but with teeth. You didn't sign papers. You didn't get peace of mind. You got cash and a clock. And when that clock ran out, you paid more than interest. You paid in fear. This was how financial protection looked when no one protected you. But from that darkness, something else began to form. People started asking, can we do this another way? Could we pool our resources without punishment? Could we share risk without being threatened? Could we protect each other and sleep at night? From the same need, two different answers grew. Banks decided to hold your money. They became the place for deposits, savings, and credit. They rewarded those who already had something. Insurance, on the other hand, chose to hold your possibility. It asked, what if something goes wrong? How can we keep you from falling too far? One path became about access, the other became about assurance. Both evolved, both became regulated, both learned to work with the system, but their hearts stayed different. A bank says, we'll help you use what you've got. Insurance says, we'll help you face what you don't see coming. Banks and insurance don't compete, they complete. One is a tool for your present, the other is a shield for your future. A bank helps you reach goals, pay bills, buy homes, grow businesses. Insurance helps you recover when those things get interrupted. A bank asks, what would you like to do? Insurance asks, what if something goes wrong while you're doing it? They serve you best when they serve together. One handling your balance, the other your backup plan. For most people, putting money in a bank feels normal. It's routine, common, expected. But putting money into insurance, that still feels like a burden. Or worse, a scam. People call it a necessary evil. I've said that myself. And yet, the wealthy don't see it that way. They hold on to their policies the same way they hold on to deeds, investments, and wills. They update them, they fund them, they understand what they're holding. And maybe the truth is, insurance only feels unfair when we're not told how to use it. Most working class people aren't taught how to build wealth with protection. They aren't handed a rule book after the game has already started. But if insurance was explained the way it should be, with care, with context, with possibilities that fit your real life, it wouldn't feel like a scam. It would feel like what it always was meant to be, a lifeline, not a punishment, a plan, not a penalty, something you own, not something you owe. There's a quiet reason names like Rockefeller and Carnegie still hold weight, long after the men themselves are gone. It wasn't just money, it was planning. The wealthy don't treat insurance like a bill, they treat it like a tool. They use life insurance and trust to build something bigger than a savings account. They built family banks, structures that hold wealth, move it, protect it, and pass it on generation after generation, not just for emergencies, but for strategy. Meanwhile, most everyday families only interact with insurance when it's forced, a legal requirement, a job benefit, a last-minute panic. But it doesn't have to be that way. If we learn what these policies can actually do, how they grow quietly, protect intentionally, and fund legacy planning with care, then we stop seeing insurance as punishment and start seeing it as power. Not fast money, but future money. Not a gamble, but a foundation. Picture two people, both working hard, both doing their best. One has a policy, the other does not. The one with coverage gets into a car accident. They're shaken, but the ambulance is covered. The repairs are covered. They miss work and still have something coming in. The other person, same accident, but now it's debt, missed income, a ride share to work, an injury with no follow-up. The stress snowballs, not just physically, but emotionally and financially. Insurance doesn't erase pain, but it softens the fall. It catches you when life slips up from under you. Some people think protection is for other people, rich people, married people, older people, but that's not true. If you have a life, you have something worth protecting. You don't need to be wealthy, you just need a plan. Even small policies can make a big difference when life gets loud. Insurance isn't a luxury, it's a way of saying, I value what I've built, even if it's still growing, even if it's still fragile. You deserve to feel protected, not just legally, but emotionally. And that's why insurance, when it's explained with care, can feel less like pressure and more like peace. Wealth doesn't always look like yachts or gated homes or business class seats. Sometimes wealth looks like not panicking when your tooth cracks. It looks like calling an ambulance and not hesitating. It looks like your family being okay if something happens to you. It's not loud, it's not viral, it's not always visible, but it's there. Protection is a quiet kind of wealth, the kind that lets you breathe, the kind that lets you sleep, the kind that isn't flashy but generational. That's what insurance can be when it's chosen, not just required. If no one's ever told you this, let me be the first. You're allowed to plan ahead, even if you're still figuring things out, even if your paycheck's not perfect, even if no one showed you how. You're allowed to protect your peace, to build security, even in small steps. That's what insurance is, a quiet way to plan for storms on clear sky days. A whisper that says, just in case, I've got you. If this episode of Insurance ASMR, Bedtime Stories by COR Insurance Services, brought you a little peace, and you'd like to hear more, there's a whole playlist of stories much like this one. Subscribe for more gentle chapters and to be informed when new stories are added. Thank you.